Hello everyone, good day. So today there is a very big or very good news for you. I often receive a question, and probably it's the mostly asked question, that how can I get a scholarship in USA or Canada or Australia as a graduate student. And I was waiting long time to make a video on this. However, I wasn't able to manage time. But my friends, today is your lucky day, because today's video I am going to talk about it. How can you get a scholarship as a graduate student in USA, Canada or Australia? So stay with me, my friend. Because in today's video I am going to discuss about a whole process in a nutshell. So this video might be lengthy and sometimes it may feel boring. So I would like to request you can go and grab a cup of coffee to stay with me, enjoy your coffee and listen. And I hope that because you are in my channel and you are trying to listen me, so you are a serious candidate to go for higher studies. Hence I believe that you are really serious to know about it. So stay with me. In today's video I am going to discuss about the scholarship process as a graduate student. So what I am trying to mean by graduate students, I am trying to mean those people who are already graduated from one of the universities, like I studied my bachelor degree in my country Bangladesh. So probably you are from India or Pakistan. So if you are done with your bachelor degree and now if you are trying to go for another degree in the postgraduate level, this is making you a graduate student. Like for example, if you are planning to go for a master's degree or Ph.D. degree after obtaining your bachelor degree, this is making you a graduate student. And the process for being a graduate student is known as the graduate study. So in today's video I am going to discuss how you are going to getting a scholarship in USA, Canada or Australia as a graduate student to pursue your master's or Ph.D. degree. I will mainly discuss about 12 very important steps, and all these steps are interconnected with each other. So try to listen all these 12 steps very carefully so that you can have a good understanding of the whole process and you can connect the dots. The first step is that if you want to go for graduate study in USA, Canada or Australia, you have to have your bachelor degree already in your hand. Okay, like if you study mechanical engineering, if you are a bachelor degree student, so you must need to be the degree holder by this time when you are applying for the graduate degree. This is the most standard. But only having the bachelor degree will not make you qualified for your graduate study. In some of the countries with only bachelor degree you can apply and go for graduate studies. Like if I say China or Malaysia, if your medium of instruction in your bachelor degree was in English, so you can directly apply with your bachelor degree certificate and you do not need to go through any other standardized test. But the hardest thing happened for the United States. Probably the maximum requirement is imposed there. So apart from your bachelor degree certificate and transcript, you also need to have standardized test certificate like IELTS and GRE. But for Canada, only IELTS or TOEFL certificate is good enough, and same thing for Australia, they do not look for GRE. But for the United States, most of the universities, they will look for your GRE record exam, graduate record exam, what we say, this certificate, and also the IELTS certificate. You can also take TOEFL instead of IELTS, both are same. So apart from your bachelor degree, for the United States you will need GRE certificate and the TOEFL or IELTS certificate. Now how you will get the GRE and IELTS certificate? These are two standardized tests. GRE basically tests your quantitative skill and also the vocabulary skill, and IELTS is or TOEFL, they are entirely a language testing system. So they will test your English language proficiency. For GRE and IELTS you have to take preparation separately, and I usually recommend the people, those who are working full time and trying to go for higher study, they need to have at least 1 to 2 years in hand to take this preparation and complete the exam. But if you do not do the job, then maybe 1 year could be good enough for you to take the preparation and appear the exam and get your result. Hence, actually we can understand this is not a ready-made process that you can just go after completing your bachelor degree, especially for the United States, Canada or Australia. Like I said earlier, for China and sometimes for China, Malaysia and Russia, you can go there by your only bachelor degree. For Russia, maybe they will ask you language skill also. I do not have any idea about Russia or other countries, but my focus of today's video is basically for United States and side by side Canada and Australia. So to take the GRE and IELTS, how we will take the preparation, you will get a lot of videos in YouTube, some of the free training also and some paid training to take preparation for GRE and IELTS. Hopefully if you go through these videos or content, you will have the good understanding of how to take the GRE preparation and how to take the IELTS preparation. And I also have a plan for future to make videos on this. Hopefully you will be benefited from it. Now I am assuming that you have already taken the GRE preparation and IELTS preparation. You have already appeared the exam for GRE and IELTS and you already got the test score for both of them. So you have now the bachelor degree certificate and transcript in your hand. You have the GRE result score. You also have the IELTS score. So now you are ready to go for the second step. Our first step is closed. What is the second step then? Now you are done with all the test score and certification process. Your second step should be to find out a supervisor or the professor in the abroad university who will be willing to supervise your master's or the PhD. Because as a graduate student, once you will go to the abroad universities, you will work as a research assistant or the teaching assistant for those professors. And because you will work for the university as a teaching or research assistant, that is why university or the department where you will go to study, they will pay you tuition fees, and also they will give you a standard monthly stipend by which you can bear your living cost. So this is usually known as the scholarship in USA, Canada or Australia. Okay, so this is the form of scholarship. They will pay you all the tuition fees and they will also pay you some monthly stipend by which you can cover your living cost. This is the scholarship. Okay, this is the main benefit of scholarship. Like, you do not need to pay or bring any money from your country or from the family, or you do not need to take any student loan to pay the tuition fee in your university, because you are a scholarship holder and you are a assistantship, graduate teaching assistant or research assistantship holder. That is why you do not need to pay any money to the university, rather you will receive money monthly. So it's almost a free education, right? You are getting the opportunity to visit a country abroad. Not only that, you are getting a degree there, which is making you a better suitable person for the future to enter into the workforce on this country. It's a very win-win situation, right? But to gain or to achieve this win-win situation, you need to go through the earlier mentioned process. Like, you have to take the bachelor degree certification, you have to take the IELTS and GRE score in your hand, which will make you suitable one. So in the second step, now we are the second step, you have to send email to the professor. What you will write in your email? You will let them know about your profile, like what is your IELTS score, GRE score, what is the CGPA in your bachelor degree, and you will also express your interest to work in their team as a research assistant or a teaching assistant. Now, how to send email to the professor in an efficient way? I have already made a video on this. In the description box below, you will find this video, like how to send email in a rewarding process and how can you get the massive success in this process. This is the most crucial, vital and stressful process of the whole application process. So watch this video and get a good idea on how to send email to the professor. In this video, I am not going in so much detailed discussion, but I can just tell when you should start email to the professor. you should start email to the professor from the month of September, and you should be completed by the month of November in a standard case, because in most of the universities the graduate application deadline is the December 15 or anytime before the Christmas ceremony. So if you want to complete your application process by December, then you should have your professor in your list by the month of November, and you should get the confirmation from them by this time. Now second step is also closed. What will happen in the third step? So when you are applying to, or when you are sending application to different professor in the US universities or Canadian universities, what will happen if they like your profile, if they find out that you are a very good or qualified candidate for their lab in future, they will arrange a Skype or Zoom interview with you to check that you are the right person, what you are trying to mean in your resume and your transcript. And one important thing that I forgot in the earlier discussion in the second step, so in your email to the professor, you will not only describe your interest, your profile, but also you need to attach your transcript or attach your transcript and your resume. Okay, though I have discussed it detail in my email video, in the description box, the link is below, please visit that video. So going back to the third step, when you will send the application and professor will like your profile, and he or his team is going to make an interview process with you. Interview will often, of course, will be the virtual, or it can be a telephone interview. So take preparation for the Skype interview or the Zoom interview. I will have a plan to make a video on this professor Skype or Zoom interview in future. Hopefully you will be benefited from it. So for the interview preparation, you can take a basic understanding of the undergrad course if you have done, and if you have any research publication by this time, take a look on those publication, and also try to read 1 or 2 research paper from the professor in which lab or with the professor you are going to apply. Try to read 1 or 2 of his. In the fourth step, I am assuming that the third step, where you went through the interview process with the professor, I believe that the interview went very well, and the professor usually, if he or his team or her team likes you, then after the interview they will let you know that you can go for the application process and mention their name in the application as a potential supervisor. So I'm expecting that your luck is good, and professor said that they are okay with you and recommend you to go through the application process. Now you start the application process. When you go for the application process, in that case we will go to the step number 4. Once you will go for the application process, you will need some extra documents, like you need the letter of recommendations, usually 3 or 4 faculty members in your undergrad college. So you need to contact with them. Usually they are very okay to give you the letter of recommendation letter unless you have some serious problem with them. Okay, so talk with your professor in your undergrad universities or college to receive the letter of recommendation from them, and usually 3 to 4 recommendation letter is good, and they have to send it online. Once you complete your application process, they will receive a link in their email. Through this link they can send the recommendation letter. It's very easy, just you need to go through some follow-up process with your undergrad professors and other faculty members who you want to become your referee. The best thing is to talk with them from the earlier interval that I am going through the application process for my higher studies, so I might need your referral or letter of recommendation. Please be kind enough to provide it. Once they say, usually they will say yes, and make them as your referee in your application process. So apart from this letter of recommendation letter, you will also need a transcript from the register office in a sealed envelope to send it to the US universities or Canadian universities. You will sometimes also need the certificate in a sealed envelope as well. So you cannot just make a photocopy and send it to the US or Canada. You need to make them in a sealed envelope, and to get it you need to go through the probably the register office in your undergrad universities, and they are already okay and habituated or known about it, so it's not a problem. Just tell them that you are going to apply for abroad universities and you need your transcript, or if it is required, certificate in a sealed envelope. And you will also need to go through your IELTS website and GRE website. Usually for the GRE score you can send 5 score sheet in 5 universities for free, but for the IELTS you need to go to, in Bangladesh I went to the British Council, or you can go to your exam center and tell them that you want to send your IELTS score to these universities. Probably they will charge you about $20 to $30 to send these documents by FedEx or other courier services to USA, and they will do it for you. Just you need to fill up some form. Hopefully I will make video on this later. So this is the step number 4. You will need to make all the documents and your letter of recommendation before you send the application paper or documents or application package to the universities. So what you will need in this stage, you will need your certificate, bachelor degree certificate, or if you have master certificate, transcript. You need the letter of recommendation. You also need a SOP, statement of purpose. If you search in Google about SOP or statement of purpose for graduate study, you will easily find one of them, and hopefully I will also make video on this. SOP is a very important part of the application process, and you can also learn a lot about SOP by just doing simple Google. Hopefully I will make video on it. You will also need your IELTS and GRE score to be sent directly to the university you are going to apply. For Canada you will not the GRE, and for Australia you will also need it, so you will only need it for the United States. So these are the application documents mainly that you will need, until and unless it is told to provide more information from your universities. Okay, sometimes they may ask for financial documents as well, but if it is not asked, you do not need to be bothered at that stage for about those documents. Okay, now the step number 5 is going to be WES evaluation. This is not going to be applicable for everyone. Some of the universities in USA, Canada or Australia, because of the grading system is different all around the world. Like if you study in India, Bangladesh or Pakistan, you will see that their grading system is very different from the USA grading system or Canadian grading system. Hence, to understand your certificate better, some of the universities in USA, Canada and Australia, they ask for sending a WES evaluation of your transcript. This is a third-party evaluation company. They usually evaluate your certificate transcript and make it equivalent to the USA, Canada or Australia transcript equivalent, so that the university they can understand as per their scale how much your score is or how valuable you as a candidate. Usually this third-party company WES, they do it by a payment, and the amount of payment is probably $180, something like that. But remember, not all the universities look for it. Only few of the universities they look for the WES evaluation. So you should not be bothered about it until and unless it is described by your graduate school or it is told by your professor. Okay, so not all the college they look for WES evaluation. I applied about 5 college or universities in the USA. Among these 5, only one asked for the WES evaluation. So number of the universities look for WES evaluation is really low. This is good for you in terms of finance and in terms of your hassle. Okay, step number 6 is sending all this document to the universities. Once you are doing your online application process, usually most of the documents you need to upload there. And for the USA, most of the universities, you need to send this document hard copy to them by post as well. This is done by usually the courier service, FedEx, DHL or UPS. By this process you can send the documents to them, and in this documentation sending process you need to send your sealed transcript, sealed certificate, you need to send your LOR copy and whatever documents they refer you to send. It varies or it depends on universities to universities, they will send you all the list of the document they are looking forward to receive by the post during your application process. And of course, when you will complete your application process online, there is an application fee as well. In most of the cases, the application fee is near about 30 to 100 or sometimes $150, and you have to pay it by an international credit card. If you do not have an international credit card, try to find out someone who has the international credit card. You can pay them the cash, and you can use their card to use or to complete the application process. This is a very difficult and inconvenience process for the students from Bangladesh, especially because in that stage they do not have the credit card. But as I was working full-time during my application process and I already had a credit card, so I didn't went through these difficulties. Rather, I helped some of my friends who didn't have job during that time, and those who didn't have the credit card or international credit card to complete the application process. So you have to find out someone if you do not have an international credit card, or if it is possible for you to make an international credit card, I would like to recommend you to make it even before you go for the application process, because it takes some times to get the credit card in your hand. So do your steps earlier before you go for the application process. It will make your journey easy. So in the 6 steps, we are sending all the documents to the universities. Once we are done, our step number 6 is complete. For the step number 7, because we are considering an ideal situation, you already got a confirmation from the professor that they are interested to take you in their research group. So once you complete your application process and once you send your all the required documents by post to the universities, give a courteous notification to your supervisor that you have already completed the application process, so that they can check it once it is available to them. This will foster your application process, so keep them a notification. But if I find that you didn't receive any solid confirmation from the professor during your emailing process, and you have completed the application process directly without any solid confirmation from the professor, in that case what you should do, once you complete your application process, you need to send email to the professor of this department by telling that you have already completed the application process, now you are looking for a assistantship with them. In that case, this statement will make you a stronger applicant to the professor compared to the other applicant, those who didn't submit the application process, just sending email to the professor. Because you have already completed the application process with the university, professor will find out that you are a more genuine candidate compared to others. So in that stage, there is a chance that they will give more weightage to your profile compared to the other students. So let them know that you have already completed the application process, now you are interested to join their team. Once you are completed with the application process, try to send the email to the professor again. In this step number 8, we are expecting to get a good result based on our application. So hopefully your professor already confirmed you earlier that you got the they request you to apply or mention their name in the application process after completing interview with you. So hopefully everything will goes well and you will hear the positive news from the university. You will receive the positive application result based on your application, that you got the admission with the fully funded position because you already passed the interview with the professor. But what happened if you didn't have the chances to appear any interview with the professor or convince any professor? In that case, you applied or you submit the direct application. Usually during this case you will receive just an ordinary offer letter. They will not give you any funding. So that is another chance for you to find out a potential supervisor and manage funding, because now you have an offer letter in your hand, just an ordinary offer letter. So you can reach to the professor of the department again that I have already received the admission offer letter from these universities, So now I am looking forward to join in your research team. In that case also, it will make you a strong candidate, because already by this time you have completed the whole application process and you already have the offer letter in your hand. So try to use this advantage. If you didn't have anything firm confirmation from the professor yet, this is your last and this is your great chance to prove yourself again. Now for the step number 9, hopefully in the ideal case you got the admission offer letter along with the funding, or if you didn't have professor managed earlier, you email them again and said them you already have an unconditional offer letter. Now you are looking for funding. In both of the cases, I am assuming that you heard from them and you secured a position of research or teaching assistantship from them. What will happen next? In the next case, usually the university will send you the I-20 and other required documents in your home address, and you should receive it within 1 or 2 weeks. Once you will get the I-20 in your hand, you should sign it by yourself. For USA there is a I-20. For Canada and Australia I didn't go through this process, so I do not know, but before up to the mailing process and application procedure, this is same. But from here I will only focus on USA because I went through the process for USA. Usually they will send you the I-20 and you need to sign it and you need to go through the visa process. So in the 10th step, after signing the I-20 in step number 9, now we will go for the visa process. For visa process 1, when you will apply for visa by your local consulate office of United States, then you will see they will tell you for some documents. You can write down the documents name from there, and you need to pay the visa fee and other things by bank draft or any other way. You need to go through all the process. Hopefully I will make video on this later. This is just a synopsis video. So you will do the complete process for the visa application. Once the visa application is submitted from the online, you need to choose the visa interview date. So you have to choose it accordingly. Once you choose the visa interview date, and you will also fill up all the documents and you will prepare all the necessary required documentation for facing the interview, you are done for this step, the visa interview. In the visa interview process, I'm expecting that everything will go well. I will make video in future about the visa facing interview, what types of question usually they ask you, but you can also get a lot of idea about the F1 student visa in USA, because there are a lot of visa type in USA. Once you are applying as a graduate student or international student, usually you will apply the F1 visa category. So you can search it in Google or YouTube. You will find many sample question what is asked in the USA visa interview for the F1 student. So hopefully you can answer all of the question and the visa officer will satisfied by your interview, and they will say that they are going to issue you the visa, but then they will keep your passport with them. They will not give it on the same day, just they will let you know that they have approved your visa, and they will also give a tentative time. At the same time, you will also receive notification in your phone and the email that which time your visa will be prepared and when you can collect your visa along with your passport, or which location you should collect it from. Now after getting the visa is the final step, 12th step, before you are going for your dreamland and the dream universities. So you got the visa, now you have to do the required shopping, because you are leaving your country at least for 2 to 3 years. So you need many things to buy. I will make video on this later. So purchase all those things and try to visit all of your friends and families, because you are leaving them for 2 or 3 years, especially for the upcoming few days. So keep well wishes and prayer from them with you, and get ready for going to your dreamland. So after getting the visa approval, you should go for purchasing air ticket. You can buy it from online with credit cards or the cash from some of the agencies. When your air ticket is booked, and probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, you can fly for the United States to pursue your graduate study. So this was the summary of how the process works after you get your bachelor degree from your university until you landed to the United States to continue your higher studies. So these are the steps. This video was not very details, but hopefully it will give you a detailed idea or synopsis how the process works, especially if you are a student who just completed your bachelor degree. Now you have an intention to go to higher studies in abroad, but you do not know how the process works or how to get the scholarship. I firmly believe that this video is going to give you this idea how the process works. Now you have all the things visible in your eyes. Now what you just need to do, you need to take these steps and follow these steps one by one. And remember, this is a long process and all the steps you need to go through. There is nothing to skip or there is no shortcut way. You need to go through all this way, and everyone go through this way. I also went through, and you will also go through. And if you are really determined, or if you are a hardworking person, regular person, consistent person, you can definitely pass all these steps and you will be able to fulfill your dream. I wish you all the best and good luck for your future journey. Stay with my channel. I will make some video like this in future as well. Have a nice rest of the day.